Well, a couple of months ago, Matt Pryor took a new adventure route when it came to the Digital Motor Club, and that adventure was to create a new racing league. And, well, after a couple of weeks having started our season, basically 8 weeks ago, this is the 9th week. This is round number 9 at Imola. Our first ever champion was crowned 1 week ago at Brands Hatch Indy. And today, we look forward to concluding what has been a very successful first campaign brought to you by JBSports. It has been a great campaign, and let's end it on a high for one final time in Season 1. And to talk you through all of the incredible racing that we have coming up for the final time this season, my name is Omi. Delighted to have your company for what should be another thriller. One thing, though, is for sure. We've had plenty of great challenges, plenty of, let's just say, shorter circuits compared to what we have coming up today. So, let's just say, it's going to be a long ride in terms of a lap that these drivers have to tackle. That's going to really make qualifying very, very hard. You don't have many goes at it, and it means that if you are really, really good at qualifying, I'm thinking of a driver like, maybe Weber Nirashto, who's taken pole in every single qualifying session that he's competed in, then, you know, it's a good chance to really show their talent for one final time this season. And of course, you know, next season, we're basically just at UK circuits. So it is, I guess, a trip abroad, which is great. And I guess, you know, we don't know what the plans are for Season 3 yet, and we won't know for a while, but it's a good chance to, I guess, enjoy this while it lasts for the time being. Enjoy something a bit different. And as we heard from the drivers 1 week ago, this is kind of a bit of a experimental, or Matt Pryor specifically, in terms of this is to experiment a little bit. So while Season 2 is pretty much set, in terms of Season 3, I guess this can give a bit of a idea of, is this something that possibly we could do in the future? Is it possibly something we could bring back? So that is basically the whole thinking behind today. But let's hope whatever we get, it is very, very entertaining. And just like that, there is our venue. There is our venue, the Imola circuit. And of course, a circuit which has formerly hosted some Formula 1 sessions in the past. And of course, not on the calendar this year, we in the TDM FunCup Championship will still utilise it. And as we momentarily watch the driver at the front, well, you may be thinking, well, okay, what is this? We've got something new for you. So this is Season 2. Graphics. We're testing them here today. So we've got some new graphics for you. That means more data, a better looking broadcast, and even more available to help me call the racing, to help you enjoy the racing. So there's a lot to look forward to. And I mean, we've definitely got some drivers already getting themselves in the midst of the grass, the gravel, because that is what surrounds this circuit. I mean, you know, when we had Formula 1 go there, in the modern time, when they returned back in 2020, you know, that was really the challenge. And then about 2 years on from that, when Formula 2 and Formula 3 first arrived, the amount of red flags that we got then, it was absolutely wild, just due to how challenging the circuit is. And same applies across all the racing series that race here, and a lot do utilize this circuit. So we've got some great drivers in the field. You're taking a look at one of them, Daniel, who momentarily goes off the road. He's right now 5th when it comes to the championship, and he's only 3 points away. Only 3 points away from next driver, John Jiggs. So that's going to be one of our main battles today in terms of that fight. Sandy Brogy versus Jack Smith's going to be another. We'll talk more about that across today as we go picture in picture and watch John Jigg make his way through across the start-finish line, and watch Daniel make his way down towards the Ravazzas as well. That is the joys. That is the joys of being able to, you know, bring you two things. So if there's 2 battles, if there's 3 battles, you know, like last time out, you know, we can at least cover a little bit more of it. Now, you'll be seeing a lot of familiar drivers, but we have got a new driver joining the mix today. Miko, 6th currently in the leaderboard, and as we watch him as well come over the start-finish line in picture-in-picture, Daniel makes his way through as well at the same time. So it'll be interesting to see what Miko is going to be able to do. A driver who is very much known when it comes to, I know the F1 scene, but he now is joining us here in the TDM FunCup Championship. Looking forward and really excited to see how he's going to get on. Thrown in the deep end and really has a hard challenge ahead of him with the grid that we have. But you know, he's joining with 1 round to go. He's just here, realistically, to have a bit of fun, which, let's be honest, everyone here in the TDM FunCup Championship is. But definitely he's going to be very much looking forward, I'm sure, to just having a chance to get around underneath him, and then possibly even try and maybe come back next season and basically get a full campaign together. But it's a good chance, kind of like what we see sometimes in Formula 2 at the end of their seasons. The final round, where some drivers will step in, I guess just do a round for a bit of fun and get a bit of experience, and you know, they really have nothing to lose, and that's kind of what Miko has coming up for him today. Okay, well, Miko is one of the drivers in the field. A lot of the other familiar faces we know already, and we know them when it comes to replays. We've shown a lot of them, but even before we're on air, we usually have a few shenanigans, and I'm happy to say that is back. That is back. And we have got some stuff that these drivers were up to when it came to practice earlier on. Here we go. Let's get into it. Throwing straight in. Matt Pryor, what have you got for us? Variante Alta? Oh, well, a few more meters on, but losing the car and facing our camera down there. Not ideal, Matt Pryor. Not ideal at all. Okay, new driver, Miko then. That's easy. That is very easy as you make your way uphill to Piratella, and then you get ready to go down to Acqua Minerale. At the midpoint of that, it can go wrong like that, and it's a case then of the driver restarting back to the pit lane. Daniel! Okay, losing it once, losing it twice, losing it a little bit in a way that I remember a couple of years ago we had Vips lose the car in Formula 2 at that part of the circuit in that type of way. Acqua Minerale, John Jig running in deep. That is absolutely somewhat can be a possibility. And then this was more things, as this time the drivers begin, you know, to just kind of get into each other a little bit. Create a bit of a battle, nice, early on. And that's exactly what we saw at that moment for Daniel out there on the circuit. And then, oh, interesting racing line. I didn't know that it was the F1 game with rules off, but that's the way that George Given took the Variante Alta chicane. Oh well, no, it wasn't a chicane, was it? It was just a drive on by. And are we getting to contact? Yes, we are. Very nearly. What, we had it once, very nearly twice. George Given just about controlling it, and then, oh well, kind of styling his way out of the gravel. Interesting. Very much interesting. We're not done. We're not done. Oh my word. Into the wall. Into the wall. And, well, that is the end of the shenanigans. And then getting a tap from behind as well. Right, drivers. Well, you only have about 10 seconds. Oh, losing it. Miko's going to go round. Well, I was about to say we have 10 seconds to get anything else, really. And, of course, the extra time before they come over the line, and we get it quite literally immediately. So Miko making his way by. You can see picture in picture, side of screen, Weber Nirashto, our champion of this season, making his way through. Now full screen for you. Let's see what he is going to be able to do. Well, I mean, that's an interesting route as well for him to take through the Variante Alta, doing the George Given, but this time not when it's full push, and this time not when anything's really on the line. Which, you know, in practice earlier it isn't, but when the drivers are pushing on, you know, the intent is clear. They want to get a fast lap on the board. So I guess we'll have to judge from this one onwards. Qualifying, unless you're on an out lap, we shouldn't really be seeing any of that. And especially when it comes to the race, we won't be able to excuse it at all. So, yes, I think they've all had enough of now, hopefully, cutting the Variante Alta chicane, and they can take the layout normally, as annoying as I'm sure it will be. Sandy Brogy then, latest winner when it comes to this championship, took a brilliant victory when it came to race 2 at Brands Hatch. It was a great performance. It was a race which was basically one where anyone could have taken the flag first. Weber lost his streak of finishing first or second in every race. He finished third, so his goal now today is just to get a podium, and basically he'll be the person who can say that he's been on the podium in every single race this season. But as I was saying, in terms of that race 2 at Brands 1 week ago, it was in the balance. It was one where it was very much on to be a last lap battle. However, Sandy Burgi, with how he was able to pull away come those final stages and just get enough of a gap, it wasn't a last lap battle. And in this championship, if you're close together, it's most likely to be a last lap battle. It's your goal as the driver in the lead to, you know, make sure that it's not a last lap battle for your sake. Of course, we all up here watching as viewers, we absolutely love it. We absolutely love when there's a last lap fight. We love when there's a last corner move. It's absolutely brilliant. But, you know, if you are the leader and you're trying to win it all, maybe not. Maybe not. We've had some brilliant moves this season. Weber Nurashto, Sandy Burgi doing some drilling. Late sell of the dummy to find themselves to an improvement of position for the lead on a final lap of the race. Is anyone going to join that party here today? That's going to be a very, very interesting question. So, we're heading towards qualifying now. Let's just bring you up to date in terms of qualifyings, as I've already mentioned. Weber Nurashto, pole position in every single round that he has competed in. He wasn't with us at Nürburgring, and that allowed the opportunity for the driver who was on debut then, now a consistent runner and a race winner as well. But Jack Smith took pole position when it came to Nürburgring, so he has been very much running fast. He's been second all the way through up until last week where he was 5th. So he's going to look to try and bounce back when it comes towards qualifying sessions. Now, here is your championship standings. Of course, like it was 1 week ago because our producer worked quickly. Still, of course, with his name in light, Weber Nurashto finding himself as a champion. No one can deny him in this final round. Sandy Burgi and Jack Smith battle on for 2nd place. John Jig, Daniel battle on for 4th place. George Given, Matt Pryor battle on for 6th place. It is very much game on when it comes to those top 7 positions. You have 2 battles that we're looking out for in the middle of all of them. And then you get to Ishmael Armstrong, who is 8th. Rum is in 9th. Oscar Buck is 10th. And then we find ourselves with Jonathan and Beldage. Jonathan, of course, making his debut last time out, and Noah Ferrone recently joining the championship. It'll be interesting to see what he can do, but he is 13th with 1 point on the board. And just like that, we are go for qualifying, and we will make our way out on towards the circuit. And we are looking at Daniel, who has definitely had a lot of practice runs. Who's definitely had a lot of practice runs in the previous couple of races and rounds, but well, he didn't get a graphic today, so definitely wasn't that bad. Which, to be fair, around this circuit, I didn't expect him to be able to get something like 500. I'm being told he did like 58 laps. Oh goodness me. So okay, so he was definitely trying, but didn't try enough. Should have done a lot more. He promised us a lot more, didn't he, last time? We had a few promises. I'm going to have to go listen back, because we had George Given giving some promises as well. And in the end, I don't think anyone, like, actually did them. So, what a shame. What a shame. Shocking stuff. So, as we make our way through, and make our way into the early phases of this qualifying session, Sandy Burgi, John Jig, Rico, Weber Nurashto, Daniel, George Given, Jack Smith, Matt Pryor, and Rum is in the pit lane at the moment. But those will be the 9 contending and contesting for pole position in our final race of the TDM FunCup Championship. What a journey it has been. I momentarily touched on it in the introduction to this broadcast, but, you know, it has been it's been a journey that's, you know, kind of been slightly unexpected in terms of we knew there was going to be entertainment in these cars, but I think, as Matt Pryor has also mentioned quite a few times, it's surprising how quickly it has grown. And there's a spin for Daniel as he goes back. Should have maybe done those extra few laps of practice, maybe would have assisted as he tries to get himself back out onto the circuit. But the Imola grass proving to be quite the hassle to deal with at the moment. Picture in picture, Matt Pryor, you can see, just got overtaken out there on the circuit as they all battle away for track position. Okay, Sandy Burgi, let's see what he is going to be able to do for us. Has had a best result of second when it comes to qualifying. That was at the Red Bull Ring, and that was also at the Nürburgring. So he does tend to go well at the rings, but around this circuit, it's just Imola, So let's see what he can. Let's see what he can do. Let's see if he can try and get himself up there. But he's also had a few P3s in there at the same time. Laguna Seca and Brands Hatch, to be precise with that. So are we going to be getting? A lap time of somewhere near the front, like what we've seen so far this season, or will it be one where he has to do quite a bit of work in the race? A reminder to you that the qualifying grid is set by the qualifying order for race 1 in race 1. Race 2 takes the order of race 1 finishing, basically. So that's how it works. We'll continue to talk you through that once we actually get in towards the races later on. But however they finish in this is the way that they will start race 1 and race 2. In terms of the grid for that, we'll have to figure it out across 15 minutes later on. Sandy Burgi momentarily making his way off the road, but continuing on and pointing in the right direction out of Acqua Minerale. This is the Variante Alta chicane. A few drivers treating this as optional when it came to practice, as we've said. Shouldn't be the case right now when it comes to push laps in qualifying. And Sandy Burgi, according to our sector times at the moment, has been going quicker than Weber Nirashto. Someone else has now got that middle part of the lap, so it is definitely in the balance as they make their way through. Sandy Burgi now making his way in towards the Ravazzas. You have Ravazza 1, which he's navigated now. Ravazza 2 is going to be making his way through now. Ravazza 2, and then it is foot flat to the floor. You have a little kink, but the drivers aren't really focused on that. It's all eyes on the overtakes down this straight. But for now in qualifying, your focus is coming over the line, and you will try and get a lap time on the board at 2:12.977. Over to you, Weber Nirashto, as he now sends it over the line, and second, make that third, because Matt Pryor now finds himself going up there. So Weber Nirashto on pole in all qualifying that he has competed in, finding himself currently in third with a bit of work to do. But that's not unusual, because we've seen this happen in the past for him. George Given is coming off a front row result in terms of qualifying last time out. What is he going to be able to manage here today is my question. Time will tell. We've only got, though, under 5 minutes to go. So half of your qualifying time is gone. It's done. Now you've got to work with the next phase, the next bit of it, to try and see what you can try and muster. And of course they'll want to try and focus, I am sure, on finding a step forward. So it's Burgi, Pryor and Weber, your top 3 at the moment. Jack Smith will want to try and get back inside said top 3. Will he be able to get there? Let's wait and see in terms of that. So we're focusing on Daniel. Daniel still needs to find a turn. So does Given. Rom's not been out so far, and he's still in the pit lane. So we're going to have to wait and see what Rom is going to do, if he's maybe just deciding to start at the back and go from there. We'll see. These races have proven, though, it is never impossible to fight your way back up. Sometimes you can go from last to first if you can be in the right place at the right time, and around a circuit like this, where even some of the best are struggling. John Jig is improving when it comes to Sector 1. Matt Pryor, well, improving very nicely to the first sector. To the middle sector, he could have done better. But overall, that's what we're focused on, because, of course, it's Sector 1, 2, and, of course, when we get Sector 3's time combined, that is what you are going to be focused on. We'll wait for Matt Pryor in a second. We're going to go to the similar liveried machine of Sandy Burgi, because he's also improving now through that middle sector. He will come across the line, and Sandy Burgi goes quicker. Sandy Burgi, a faster Sector 3, and he is going all the way to the top. Now, let's focus on John Jig, because he's also finding a major improvement. Matt Pryor did not improve. John Jig, though, improving in both sectors. Personal best in Sector 1, in Sector 2. We're about to see whether he can keep it together in the third and final sector of the lap. Miko is also currently pushing on. You can see picture in picture about to make his way across the line for his effort. And where will the driver, who is currently in 8th, go? He'll remain in 8th position. Focusing now on John Jig. We've followed the second half of the lap for him. He's currently in 7th. Will definitely want to move forward from there. Is he going to take a step forward though? Only one position up to P6, but that is better than nothing. That is definitely better than nothing. Well, it is close margins at the front. Are we going to see a pole position here change in the final stages? Who is going to have what come the end of the session? Weber Nirashto is finding some time as well, I'm being told. So we'll keep an eye on the driver looking to try and keep up his streak of every time that he's competed in a TDM FunCup Championship qualifying. Here he is, Sector 1. You can see it's being lighted up in green. He's just gone off the road though and taken a bit of a wide line through Variante Alta. Remember, with a lap here being currently the fastest, a 2-minute 12.825, you do not have time to work within this session. The lap time that these next few drivers will be beginning will be their final lap. So this is their penultimate lap. If they do, and if they, push on all the way through for another lap, that'll be their final one. Not a lot of efforts recorded then for these drivers, but that's just the nature of this Imola circuit. Weber Nirashto going quickly. Is this going to be the lap to take provisional pole? Out of Ravazza, getting over the exit curb, getting his foot flat to the floor, and already our confirmed champion of the season, just looking to keep the streaks going. Is he going to be able to do it? A few meters away from the line, Weber Nirashto improves to the front row, but misses out on pole position, and it still belongs to Sandy Burgi. Weber Nirashto will go on once again, and he will get one more attempt. Weber Nirashto will get one more attempt to try and keep his streak going. Let's cut it over to Jack Smith. Such a competitive driver when it comes to qualifying and races. Qualifying is where he lost out 1 week ago. As he runs in deep, Sandy Burgi is going very quickly in the first sector. This TDM FunCup Championship qualifying is in the balance. You take them to a long circuit, and for some reason it closes them all up and puts it in the balance. This is unbelievable stuff. Jack Smith's pushing on through the Variante Alta, over the asphalt as he runs in deep. And the AstroTurf as well on the exit of Variante Alta was very much executing all the road he could. Not long to go. Weber Nirashto, though, is going to look to try and bring it all together. Sandy Burgi, though, you can see bottom of screen in terms of lap time. Picture in picture in terms of his car and where he's placing it on what could be his way to a first pole position this season. Over the line, first of all with Jack Smith, the driver who is currently in 4th, improving in the middle sector. Can he do anything at the end? The answer appears to be no, and he'll stay in 4th. But Burgi is setting the timing board on fire at the moment. Quickest of all in Sector 1. Quickest of all in Sector 2. Matt Pryor has returned to the pit lane. Is this the lap for Sandy Burgi to blow the rest of them away? Is it going to be pole position for the man who's been 2nd and 3rd in qualifying on so many occasions? He's coming off the back of a race win. He's absolutely flying here at Imola. And is this going to be a brilliant end to the season when it comes to qualifying? Sandy Burgi loses time in the final sector, but goes quickest of all. And Weber Nirashto's in the pit lane. That is him done. For the first time this season, in a qualifying session that he has competed in, Weber Nirashto will not be on pole position. And that is a turn-up and a half. And for the first time in the TDM FunCup Championship, Sandy Burgi is on pole, and he becomes only the 3rd driver to take pole in championship history as well. Absolutely fantastic stuff from him. Quicker on multiple laps, and definitely the driver to beat leaving qualifying here today. So Burgi, Weber, Matt, Jack and George, your top 5. What an amazing qualifying session that was. That was great for it to be in the balance all the way through from start to finish, and for it to be in such close proximity. Oh, that was absolutely fantastic. That is incredible when it comes down to those boiling last few moments where the drivers needed to improve. As we review Jack Smith, the driver who is taken 4th place, and a great 4th place you have to say as well in terms of this qualifying session. Well, he's just about to come over the line, and he's gonna find himself now actually going to 3rd. So he must have crossed the line with about a few seconds left, which is why we basically got everyone done and still had one driver to go. Jack Smith, with a late lap, goes to 3rd. Unbelievable. He came and sneaked his way up there as well. That was incredible. That is absolutely unbelievable. Fair play, Jack Smith. Matt Pryor is kicked off the top 3 spots, and he'll start on the 2nd row in 4th. No, honestly, fair play. Fair play, Jack Smith. That is absolutely extraordinary. To basically, as I said, just come up when you think everything's done. With how this circuit works, with how this circuit is, I mean, the thing is, you're always just gonna get a chance of something wild happening. So, qualifying done. Race mode very nearly on, and we are very much set to go racing here at Imola. Race number 1. 2 races coming your way. The grid that we've got for this race will be how they start for race 1 in a few minutes' time. That's unbelievable, though. That was definitely, I think, my favourite qualifying session for TDM so far. I mean, I've done, in total, 8 of them now. Of course, I wasn't there for one single week. But, yes, that was some qualifying session. And for the final 2 races of the season, it is time to crown our final 2 winners. It has been some journey across TDM FunCup Championship in season number 1. And here, now to conclude our journey, we head over to Imola. What an incredible venue, which, of course, brings this championship closer, you know, to a Formula 1 circuit. There is nothing better than being able to go to such a historic place like this. Formula 1 history has built around this venue over the years. Some great and, unfortunately, some devastating moments. I'm sure, though, TDM here today is here to add a few more to the positive list, because this championship has proven to be highly competitive. And here today, it's time to continue that on around Imola for what should be an exciting end to our campaign of season number 1. Really feels like we're about to go into race mode, doesn't it? Because I think this championship has been one which, you know, you kind of get a tone of what could happen, but then that doesn't happen. And we had 8 rounds of getting confident and comfortable in qualifying. Bar the 1 round in Nürburgring where Webber Navastro wasn't there, you kind of get comfortable. Okay, well, most likely it's going to be Webber Navastro on pole. There we go. He'll just continue on the streaks. That's what you'll think. But then it took long, but we did get a change. And we got an unbelievable change and a great qualifying session. As I said, my favourite one that I've done here for the TDM FunCup Championship, because that was really, really in the balance all the way till the end. And that's what you want. You want a qualifying session to go right till the end and leave us in a great place for the race. Leave us a bit exhausted after qualifying, yes, but leave us in a great place for the race that we have coming our way. Here we go. It is time to go racing. And we are looking down on the grid. Here come the lights. The final round of the season is about to begin. Lights out, we're racing at Imola, and that is a very great jump off the line for Sandy Burgi. Absolutely bolts away. Reacted basically as soon as the lights go out, maybe even been before with how good of a getaway he got. Weber Nirashto finds himself in second place next to Jack Smith, and it's going to be really, really close together between the pair of them. Burgi, though, leading us with a comfortable advantage. Matt Pryor trying to go through into second as well. Further back, is he going to be able to get there? Can he try and get there? Burgi. Then, who's going to be second? I think it's Weber Nirashto who's got it, yes. Then it's Jack Smith in third position. Matt Pryor is fourth. And then we find ourselves with Daniel P5. But our leader with a good advantage, with a comfortable advantage, as we go racing here at Imola. And that is a very interesting start to the contest. So Burgi absolutely got away at such a rapid rate, leaving the field behind, and that is a very great advantage to have on the opening tour of the race. Weber Nirashto and Jack Smith follow second and third. Matt Pryor's fourth, Daniel's fifth, and then George Given is in sixth. John Jig is seventh, Rum is eighth, and Miko is in ninth on debut in this championship. And look at how close to the back Jack Smith is to Weber Nirashto, pushing him, nudging him through. And is this going to be a race where Sandy Burgi can pull away? And we get a battle developing for second. We've got a battle developing further back. That's George Given trying to really get onto the back there of Daniel. And Jack Smith pushes off the road. Weber Nirashto gives him a nudge, but they all end up going off the road as well, with how hard it is to slow it down and rotate their way through. Unbelievable stuff with the way they are taking that part of the circuit. Let's hope they all behave to very anti-LT. Of course, you get to jump over the curb once, then twice. Then you use some of the AstroTurf on the outside as well. And I think, if I'm honest, that is, unless we're going to get some drama, that is the most comfortable race that I've seen for someone so far in this championship. The way he's just been able to be like, yep, that is my position, and I'm going to keep it. In terms of further back, it's being fought for, and Daniel rolls up to fourth position. So Matt Pryor loses out, and after looking to try and battle earlier, well, it's a bit of a different story now for Matt Pryor because he's defending and attacking at the same time. George Given looking to try and go to the attack. You can see he's pulling to the right-hand side in terms of picture-in-picture at the moment, and you can also see Matt Pryor is trying to also go through on Daniel at the same time. Three drivers not separated by March. Oh, we're going to go three wide into the Tamburello chicane. This is going to get close. Around the outside goes Daniel. Keeps fourth. Matt Pryor at sixth. Watch the traction George Given may get here. Down towards the Villeneuve chicane. Could he get a possible chance? Backing out of it. Matt Pryor's line was compromised. And now it could be side by side. Heading into Villeneuve. Oh, we're going to see the rim created all the way round. George Given. What a brilliant move if he can keep it on the road. He runs in deep on the exit. And he does fight his way by. Wow. On the outside of Villeneuve. Matt Pryor is going to do his own edition of a move the long way round. That's what he's trying to pull off at the moment. And this is some great battling to kick off our racing here at Imola. And now joining the party is John Jig as well, you can see. And they do go single file into Piratella. They all do decide, okay guys, let's behave ourselves just a little bit. We're already at the start of the TDM FunCup Championship round. We'll continue this scrap, I'm sure, in a few meters, in a few corners, because they're not going to last, will they? How's it going with track limits? They're all going off. Fair play, to be fair, John Jig. He did go slightly off, but he kept it pretty much nicely together. And I think that may present an overtaking chance. Yeah, so while we take a look at a replay, live pictures, that's the move. Inside line, and John Jig makes the pass. And well, guys, drivers, treat this as a lesson. Don't go off the road and you gain a place. Because John Jig's traction was absolutely extraordinary through there. I mean, he turned it into an overtake. So what is there not to love? My word, Sandy Burgi still pulling away. As I've just said, this is definitely the most confident driver race start that I've ever seen. I've never seen someone bolt away in such a way and basically say goodbye to absolutely everyone. So George Given making their way through on the back right now of John Jig. Are we about to go side by side between the pair of them as they make their way through? This is the last lap comparison. George Given slower in sector 1, slower in sector 2, faster in sector 3, which is why he's making the move and gaining the place at the end. There we go. That's what being quick in the third sector does here at Imola. And if you're able to basically be quick in that type of way, then you know you can find yourself improving up and gaining a couple of positions. John Jig then making his way on the back. George Given. They are 6th and 7th at the moment in time. Sandy Brody though pushing his way on and absolutely dominating this race. Unbelievable stuff. John Jig and George Given. You can see the gap being compared at the bottom of screen, and it's very close between those two drivers. It's very close between Jack Smith and Weber Narashto as well. That'll be the move. Not quite. Not the move as of yet. If your name is Jack Smith. So it is Burgi, Narashto, Smith, Pryor, Given, Jig, Daniel, Rum and Miko at the back. Jack Smith looking to try and get closer onto the back of Eben Narashto. You can see the gap currently being 0.7 of a second between the pair as they send it over the line. A good lap that time by Weber. He's really able to push on the last tour of the circuit. So it's now a battle for second that we're focusing on. We're focusing as well at the same time on a battle going on for 5th. Those are the two main ones that we have going on the circuit. Weber Narashto continues to push on. So okay, this is the interesting thing. It was the third sector where Jack Smith really appeared to lose out. But on the first two sectors, he kind of, you know, had the advantage. And then, you know, the third sector is actually the critical one, where you do need to go quickly because you can remove yourself away from an overtaking opportunity. John Jig has just gone slightly deep as they currently push on. And push on in absolutely fantastic style as they settle themselves in to this race. It is going to take some beating for Sandy Burgi. This is unbelievable pace. I just don't have words for this level of pace. So this is great. This is great pace at the moment in time for the driver in P1. He just needs to really just keep it together, and if he can, that'll be his victory at the front of the field. Jack Smith losing time to Weber Narashto at the same time, which is why you're seeing a gap now over 1 second, and a battle that was a battle now slightly spread apart. We're getting to a territory which we're not usually used to in this Stadium FunCup Championship, because drivers actually have a bit of breathing room for once. Quite the contrast to races like last time out. That does not mean that the battling is done whatsoever. George Given, I'm sure, is going to have a chance. Fastest lap of the race, Sandy Burgi pushing on more and more and more. And that isn't to say Weber Narashto and Jack Smith don't have good pace, it's just Sandy Burgi has unbelievable pace. That's the difference here today. And what a difference it is. George Given, you can see, at the same time, in pursuit of the car ahead being Matt Pryor, of course. So now focusing in terms of on the championship standings that we had coming into today. I mean, Sandy Burgi is going to really consolidate himself in second, I think, after this result. Jack Smith will be pretty much third, and then focusing on a few of the other drivers. The battle for fourth was between John Jig and Daniel. John Jig is ahead of Daniel at the same time as well, so you know they're basically in position, aren't they, out there on the circuit. And then some of the other battling that we did have coming into today was George Given versus Matt Pryor. And Matt Pryor and George Given, well, they're battling on the circuit. So that's actually a bit of a championship position type battle as well between Matt Pryor and George Given. So it's actually, and here we go, this could be the move. George Given pulling out off the slipstream, trying to make the move. It was a small slipstream, but in these cars, it's everything. And the inside line, George Given gets ahead. Matt Pryor's going to go off the road and keep that position. George, I'm sure, will not be the biggest fan of that, but considering they're making down the racing line at this point, don't think he'll have much to argue about in that sense. Over the curbs, part 1, part 2, and then on the power. So yes, this is actually not just a battle on circuit, but as I was just mentioning, the championship battles that we have going on, this is for 6th in the standing. The gap is 3 points between them. We run the same point system as Formula 1, so basically we're looking at a 12th and a 10th, 12 and 10 points basically for 4th and 5th. So it might close this one much, it can very much close this one up. And it's actually Matt Pryor the one chasing George Given. So at the moment, Matt Pryor would head into the final race being 1 point behind. If George Given, though, makes the move, finishes ahead, then he's going to move 2 points further clear, bringing the total to 5 points between them heading into the final race for 6th and 7th when it comes to the championship standings. In towards the Tamburello chicane. Can George Given make this move? We've mentioned the importance of it. And now Matt Pryor is going to keep the foot in. George Given will slide, he'll twitch, and Matt Pryor will still be ahead. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff indeed. Oh look, championship standings. Championship standings we've got on screen as well. So yes, that's the important thing I'm mentioning in terms of if you take a look in those 6th and 7th slots in the championship, George Given finding himself only 3 points ahead of Matt Pryor. They're battling on the circuit. They've got this race to do, and then they've got another one coming up. Was that slightly deep for Matt Pryor? George Given's going to inch closer, and he's going to get an opportunity. But that's why this battle is more than just a battle on the circuit. It has a bit of a championship implication to it at the same time. Now this is the last 4 laps being compared, and you could see Matt Pryor quicker when it came to the 2nd lap, the 3rd lap, and then George Given had the advantage on the previous 2 laps, which, you know, considering we're going back to lap 2, you have to also remember at the same time, we don't run many laps. If this was another circuit, then, you know, we'd have quite a lot of laps, meaning that it's happened in recent time. But considering we're going back to race 2 and we've actually been running for quite a while, you know, as you can tell, the laps, with it being so long, it's just the way things work. We're about to go on to the final lap of the race then, but it's still a long lap, which is why we'll still have plenty of time to go when Sandy Bulgy comes over the line for surely the most dominant victory in TDM FunCup history, because he just absolutely pulled away. He absolutely pulled away. And as we focus on and focus in on Matt Pryor and George Given, here we go. The last time that they'll run through this straight on a full version of it, because of course they'll only have this run up towards the line come later on. Right now, they've got the full length of it and the few kinks. Turn number 1 is the little kink. Turn 2, Tamburello chicane, is where you are aiming to have the overtake complete by. So, Matt Pryor in the blue car, George Given in the all white. He's got the inside line, heading into Tamburello. Matt Pryor has been good at this part of the circuit before, all the way round the outside, and you'll have it. And George Given slots in behind, and Matt Pryor stays ahead in that battle. But now keep an eye on John Jig. Keep an eye on John Jig as well during this party. And remember, John Jig is contesting for P4 in the standings, but he's already got an advantage over Daniel. He can further extend that advantage come this race. Is this the moment for Given? Outside line, heading down to Toza. Pryor's line will be compromised. Watch the exit here for George Given. There you go. You see him pull alongside, and they are now going to be side by side, heading up towards Piratella Corner. This a battle for 6th place in the championship standings at the moment, and the inside line for George Given will take him up to 4th. He'll make the move, and Matt Pryor will now need to try and respond. And keep an eye as well on John Jig. This will reduce Matt Pryor's chances in terms of now having a chance to beat George because John Jig trying to make the move. So it seems like as it stands, the gap will be 5 points. But it could very much still change in a dramatic way. In towards the very anti-alta chicane. Can Matt Pryor fight back and close in this gap to 1 point heading in towards the final race of the season? The penultimate race of the season might just be the most dominant victory. Rebel Irashta's got close, but no one has ever got close to making an overtake. I think for the first time in this series, Sandy Burgi, though, for the third time, is going to take victory at the end of a race. Sandy Burgi comes across the line to win here, race 1 at Imola. Weber Irashta second, and they're battling all the way till the end. Matt Pryor versus George Given, drag race to the line. This is a championship position as well that they're fighting over, and George Given might just be Matt Pryor to it. Pryor's going to the pit wall. Unbelievable stuff as they came over the line, and George Given gets there. Last lap Given at it again. Matt Pryor finding himself P5, and George Given extends the gap to 5 points in the battle for 6th place in the championship, heading in to the final race of the season. Unbelievable, as he gets a hit by another driver that came in, Daniel, I think it was, who came in that white liveried car and hit out George Given. Luckily the race is over. But no, as I was saying, there was quite a lot of numbers to get out at the end of that race in terms of Sandy Burgi, but no, just to be completely clear, I think it's the first time in this championship that we've ever had, I think, you know, a race winner which did not even have to really go on the defensive at all. Yes, it's finished inside 1 second now at the end, but you know, Sandy Burgi probably let off the gas a little bit. Weber has to post on at the end, but there wasn't even a sniff, because look at the start that Burgi had. He just left the line. He just went. It was unbelievable. Sandy Burgi, the launch that he got off the line. So, it's his third victory, of course, in this championship. And he goes back-to-back, of course, from Brands Hatch Indy Race 2 to Imola Race 1. But I've not seen such a dominant win where a driver got I've never seen such a start. I've never seen such a race start, first of all, in terms of just having the advantage over everyone. And then, not only that, but then to just dominate and not have anything go wrong. We've had drivers pull away and win by a big distance in the past, but for it to go in the way it did was just unbelievable. While the others, well, as we review the moment, where, well, there was a bit of a shunt, let's just say, to the side of George Given by Daniel. Deep breath. That's a race done, and now we only have one more race to go of this championship. It's been an emotional journey as well at the same time, and now we're reaching the end of it. Absolutely unbelievable stuff. Okay, well, we still got some things to play out for in terms of, as I mentioned, championship implications lower down the field. So, let's take a look then. Also, now at the TDM FunCup Championship Season 2 calendar. We will begin our journey when it comes to round 1 at Donington. Then we'll go to Silverstone, Not Kill, Croft, Brands Hatch, Thruxton. That'll be your 6 rounds to, well, take you through the 2/3 of the season. Then Snetterton, and then Not Kill Reverse, and then Angsley Coastal, which will end the journey on 23rd June at 7 p.m. So we're talking about ending the journey in a whole season's time, but for the moment, let's just first of all focus on season 1 and ending that as well, because we still have something to do. Absolutely unbelievable stuff. What a race that was. And Matt Pryor and George Given then. That was a great fight between the pair. We're going to get an updated graphic come later on, by the way, in terms of just so you can properly see the points difference between the two of them heading into the second race. Because, yes, we don't have a championship to play for at the moment, but in terms of But in terms of course, the positions lower down, we're having a great fight. Could you imagine if we had a championship battle and that was the type of fighting all the way to the line? Unbelievable. Right. Main thing I think we need to note now. If you are to beat Sandy Burgi, first of all, get a good start off the line, because he just bolted. He just went. It was unbelievable, his getaway. That's number one. That's number one. And number two, then you've got to try and stay ahead. Which, I mean, does sound like a Will Buxton drive to survive thing. But no, that is your two goals if you're anyone behind Sandy Burgi. You cannot let him run away with this, because if you do that, then he's going to run away with it quite literally and win it. There won't be a second invitation on the evidence of today. So that's something that all the drivers will just need to, just need to have a little think in their head, I'm sure, about if they want to end the season on the top step of the podium. Or is Sandy Burgi going to be heading to win number 4? Time will only tell. Okay, and it is time to tell right now. 15 minutes of racing coming our way. The final race of the season begins when all lights go out. The season finale is go at Imola, and a perfect reaction time once again from Sandy Burgi. He's been the absolute expert of the start so far. Now can he try and dominate like he did in race 1? Webber Nirashdo and Jack Smith are going to have their own battle heading down towards Tamburello chicane. Who's going to be last on the brakes? Can Smith go the long way round? He's risking it with our champion of this season. Very close stuff between the pair of them, and they will just make their way through, with Webber Nirashdo having second place. Good opportunity there for Matt Pryor to try and make it 3 wide. Heading down towards Villeneuve. Does Pryor have room for himself? Really close stuff. The champion is latest on the brakes, and Webber Nirashdo at second place. Burgi is pulling out of town once more. Nirashdo, then Pryor. Pryor's trying to come up the inside. Jack Smith is in the mix as well, finding himself in P4. That's close to contact there, as getting very close together was Daniel with Rom, and now he's getting past John Jig as Daniel as well. So Daniel finds himself improving up a place. Jack Smith going wheel to wheel with Matt Pryor. As we head to Piratella, outside line for Jack Smith, inside for Matt Pryor, and it gets very close between the pair of them, and they will just about survive as they go single file. Not single file further back though. Well, that's a great chance for Miko, I think, trying to get past John Jig. Can he do it? Oh, I think they were off the road. Yes, they were both off the road by a mile as they went deep into the corner. John Jig hangs on to it. Sandy Burgi then, making his way through with a great advantage. There's Jack Smith ahead of Matt Pryor. Webber Nirashdo goes massively off the road. Jack Smith goes massively off the road. Matt Pryor goes through and moves up to the position of P3. Oh, Rum off the road as well, making his way onto the grass, and that's costly for him. Keep an eye on George Given at the same time. Jack Smith is losing out to Matt Pryor. George Given sending it to the inside and off the road. We're going to go with Matt Pryor. He's going to lose out all of those positions that he just gained, and that is unbelievable stuff. We're getting to quite the chaotic bit of battling here today as they take very much varied racing, different lines over the line, and you can tell Matt Pryor really trying to search for some of that slipstream. That is, of course, on George Given. Could we be about to go 3 wide? Daniel's going to be in the mix as well. This could be close. Heading down towards Tamburello. So Jack Smith is gone. Oh! Are we going to get the mark? Can they keep it together? I don't think so. And that is going to be Daniel, who was the car that was off. George Given keeps it together in the other white livered machine. And that was unbelievable. It was a moment heading into the first consequential turn of the circuit to see whether they would all make the exit, and well, 2 did, 1 didn't in the most successful way. Ooh, Daniel cutting over the road and going over the grass. At that moment in time, that's an opportunity. Miko has found it up to 6, only for a moment, now down to 7. But out of all of the chaos, he's been able to get involved in some of the mix today, which is fantastic on his opening round debut in this TDM FunCup Championship. Make our way down towards Piratella. At the same time, George Given is getting close to Matt Pryor. Can he try to send the move? Now can Miko try to send the move? Can he try and give us some overtakes as well. Oh, he's going to drift his way round. How did that one end? Unfortunately, it was him completely having to take the car to basically stationary mode, and it's going to lose him all the positions, and he's back down to 9th as George Given sends it, boots it over the curbs, trying to get closer to Matt Pryor. Absolutely fantastic. They are really pushing on hard. Soon we'll have the official point standings, or the provisional, of course, before any, in case there's any drama with stewarding, which I don't think so. We've not really had anything come this season. Webber Rashto is getting close to Sandy Burgi as well, can I just say. I mean, we're on course to maybe not even have a lead change in this round at all, but could we be on course maybe to just change that at the final opportunity? As here we go. Well, you can see the point standings. I'll take you through them in a second, but at the moment, the two drivers where it is going to most likely be fought by Matt Pryor and George Given, having their wheel-to-wheel combat, heading into towards the second turn on the circuit, and that's the outside line for Pryor, the inside for Given, and they are just going to maintain order in that way. So Pryor ahead of Given. Given's going to try and fight this. Could it go all the way down to the Villeneuve chicane, I wonder? Because they are running close together. This is fantastic for P4 on the road. So Pryor is in 4th, Given's in 5th. Daniel right now finds himself 6th. Lots of road being used in terms of the curb on the outside line, and now Given places the car on the outside, looking to drive the cut back. The line will go in his favour, but he twitches, he slides, and that's not ideal. At the same time, you're taking a look at Webber Narashto, who is about 8/10 away from your race leader. Not a sentence I thought I'd be saying today after what we've seen so far, but he's pushing on, and could he maybe, once again, absolutely destroy the expected order that we thought that we'd get in this race? Pryor and Given still running very much close together. The gap has gone to 5/10 between the leaders. This is closing in at the front, and we may just get a battle, and we're still getting a battle here between George Given and Matt Pryor, making our way down towards Variante Alta chicane. At the same time, a bit of a twitch for Sandy Burgi over this part of the circuit that these two are going through now. So, how is this one going to go? Can Given try and make the move? And Sandy Burgi all the while's running, I think, slightly deep. Sandy Burgi's gone in deep, and Webber Narashto might just get a chance. Here we go. Battle for the lead. Incoming for the first time today. It's taken till race number 2, but Webber Narashto, our champion of this season, has got an opportunity to go and hunt down our race leader. Burgi will cover the inside line. Webber Narashto will be forced a long way round. Can he do it? Can he make this stick? Heading down towards the braking zone. At the same time, George Given's making the move on Matt Pryor, but at the front of the field, Sandy Burgi hangs on to the lead on the way into the corner and on the way out, but he's off the ideal racing line. Given has got up to 4th. It appears like Given's got up to 4th, and now Matt Pryor will be the chasing car in that battle. Here comes Webber Narashto into Villeneuve chicane. Would be extraordinary, and that is the reason why he backs out of it. Over to you, Matt Pryor, as well as Sandy Burgi runs over the curb. Pryor looks to the inside line, he can't get there. Switchback applied, power down. He's got a chance now to get past George Given as well on the way through on the outside line. At the same time, Webber Narashto tries to dart alongside. So, Narashto trying to make the move. Narashto is going to be now pulling on the outside line as Pryor nearly gets squeezed off the road at the same time. Burgi's got the position. Narashto's in 2nd. Pryor, can he take it ahead of Given? Can Given keep his foot in? Wait for your answer. It looks like Pryor's got the control of the apex, and he's got P4. There we go. That was unbelievable. And it's also very much confusing in terms of they're both the same liveried cars as well in the mix, but at least we've got them split for you. In this occasion, Narashto making his way down towards the outside line. This is unbelievable. It's all happening. George Given, that's a brave attempt, looking forward on the outside line there. And this battling is bringing Jack Smith into play. Matt Pryor loses it and nearly wipes out George Given, who just avoids it. And that is going to be Matt Pryor's chances gone in terms of finishing P6 in the standings. I think George Given's going to have it. Pryor has dropped down the order. He's going to be passed by Rum. He may drop all the way to last, and he will be. He will drop down to last. Now, back to the battle for the lead, because Webber is going to get a chance to take P1. So that's the end of one battle. This one's going to rage on into the final 6 minutes of the season. Fastest lap off the race for Webber Lead chance there for Webber. He's making his way to the outside line. Can he outbreak Sandy Burgi? Can he outdrag him? He's done it! Webber our championship winner, has taken the advantage, but now can Sandy Burgi try and fight back? And, you know, we're going wild about the overtake because we've seen so far, defending can be so easy. And Sandy Burgi's fighting back. He's got the inside line. Webber is going to hang on. He's going to be all over the curb. Can Burgi now send it into the next corner? Toza, no. In this championship, we've seen so many lead changes, but so far that was the first one that we got. The difference that races make is unbelievable. Absolutely fantastic. What a race. This has been quite the race and quite the contrast. Okay, now watch this. In terms of, you're looking for the picture-in-picture moment. Pryor loses it on the exit, nearly wipes out Given as he tries to correct it. Then we cut to him in full frame, and that's when he completely loses it. Okay, back to the battle for the lead. Narashto's trying to pull away. This is unbelievable. Webber Narashto, even when he doesn't have the pace, this is unbelievable. He just finds the pace in the race, and oh, did we really think he was going to be just not finding his way to the front at any point today? It would have definitely been. It would have definitely been something that would have been quite literally ridiculous. Okay, we're into the final minutes of this season. Matt Pryor, by the way, has got up to 8th position. That's further back. That overtake came in. But at the same time, this battle has been unbelievable so far. George Given will be looking at the mirrors because Daniel's going to have an opportunity as well. But Webber Narashto made the move, took the opportunity, and took the race lead. So we take a look at everything that is going on the circuit. So Miko is on the back of Rum. At the same time, George Given's looking in the mirrors because Daniel's got an opportunity. George Given slightly going off the road there. And that will bring Daniel closer and closer in pursuit at the same time. So, George Given then, finding himself with, of course, a podium when it came to the Red Bull Ring in race number 1. That's the only time he's been able to get himself on towards the rostrum. That was, of course, the opening round that he did of this TDM FunCup Championship. When it, of course, came to qualifying, I mean, last time out, it was a P2 on the road for George Given. And, you know, that's one of the times where, I mean, had Webber Narashto not, you know, put in a lap of the caliber that we know he can be, that could have been a chance for him. Now Jack Smith is closing up dramatically so to Sandy Burgi. Gap is only, I think is about to really close in between the pair of them, and could we possibly get something with that, I wonder, very soon. And Sandy Burgi, as George Given finds her going off the road. So, well, you have two things happening there at once. Back over to this battle that we tried to go to until that moment. So George Given's gone off the road, he's in 5th. Daniel finds himself in 4th. Here is the opportunity. Sandy Burgi The pace does not seem to be as high. Oh, they're making contact. This is going to be close. Burgi will not want to give it up, but Jack Smith will go on by, and he will take second place in the race as he makes the maneuver. And now can Burgi try and fight back? Heading towards Villeneuve, trying it on the outside line, but backing out, hoping that Jack Smith's off the ideal racing line, and now he can fight back. All the while, Weber Narashto's losing the time. This is the final lap of the race as well, I'm just being told in my ear, because we only have 40 seconds remaining on the clock, so we've got to focus on that as well. So this is the final lap, and now these two are getting themselves closer to Weber Narashto at the same time, and Jack Smith's trying to defend. Jack Smith looking to try and defend Sandy Burgi. Is going to pull back to the outside line. Can he send it into Piratella? This would be absolutely brilliant. And as they make their way through, it is very close in the battle for second place. It's very close, very nearly between second and first as well. Can Narashto keep it together in the next few corners? Important corner that they've just gone through. Narashto and Smith both go wide. Burgi tries to keep it pinned down to the floor. Variante Alta. This could be a critical corner in the context of this race. Can Jack Smith send it in? Can he provide himself with an opportunity? He's getting close. He's definitely getting closer, but I think Sandy Burgi's getting closer to him. Burgi's got an opportunity coming towards the Ravazzas on the final lap of the race. These are the last few corners of season number 1. Burgi pulls to the outside line, trying to make the move on Jack Smith the long way round, out of Ravazza 1 and 2. This is fantastic. Can he now get the foot flat to the floor? Jack Smith is going to try and beat him to the line. Weber Narashto, our champion, is going to win the final race of the season. It is going to be so close though, between Smith and Burgi and Narashto. Is he going to be able to get there in time? It's going to be so close. Narashto's won it. Jack Smith is in second and Sandy Burgi in third. I think Weber Narashto slowed down a little bit over the line. He was on course to take the win, and he did end up winning, but it was Jack Smith who outdragged Sandy Burgi to that position as they make their way through. And it is wildness out there on the circuit. That was unbelievable. That was fantastic. Here comes Matt Pryor as well. Wait for it. Into the back, causing havoc. And into the cut fencing as well. Am I watching BMNG? Oh, goodness me. The only thing it's missing is the damage mod, really, that the BMNG game has. Oh, that was unbelievable. I mean, that's just TDM FunCup summed up, isn't it? That's just TDM FunCup summed up, because we're meant to have fun here. That's number 1. We're meant to have some great racing, we did. And it's meant to be close. It was close. And... oh, God. We're meant to be a little bit serious, which we also were at the same time. Fantastic. That was unbelievable. Deep breath everyone, after an extraordinary race, an extraordinary season, and the TDM FunCup Championship has continued to deliver fireworks on fireworks, and this championship has, well, for some positions gone down right till the end. In terms of races, we've seen it all. We've seen a bit of contact. We've seen everything. We've seen Weber Narashto really give us a close finish at the end, and Jack Smith and Sandy Burgi have their drag race to the line. 2 races, 2 drag races to the line. Well, in terms of racing abroad, thank you very much, Imola. And who knows? Maybe if next season the British tracks don't give us something good, which I'm sure they will, but you know, if they're not up to standard as season 1, remember we have high standards here at TDM. We don't want just, you know, one change of lead and yeah, good night. No. We want to see multiple changes of lead. We want to see drag races to the line. And the thing is, if we're not going to get that a lot next season, then who knows? Season 3, welcome back. Welcome back these absolutely fantastic other racetracks. Don't know whether Imola will be specifically one of them, but we've been to some wild ones so far this season. Laguna Seca, of course, having the last lap overtake, last corner overtake by Weber Narashto, our season number 1 champion. Of course, crowned in 1 week ago. We'll get to the driver interviews in a second. We're just enjoying the last few moments of actually seeing something on circuit. So we are going to be. We are going to be now. Just watching Daniel have his last bit of fun. Well done. Well done. Well done, Daniel, of course, on the amount of laps practiced. I mean, there's a lot of congratulations and well dones to give. Today, okay, where do we start then? I'm just going to take a step back. Let's hear from Weber Narashto, your race 2 winner, your season 1 champion, and the driver who always finds his way somewhere near the front. Weber Narashto, I mean, you told me earlier on in the season that if you don't take pole, you probably won't win. Well, you didn't take pole, but you did win at least one race. How does it feel?
Hello. I hope you can hear me this time, unlike last week.
Yes, we can.
Very good. Yes, I was way off pole, I think by 6/10 or something like that. But, Imola, not my favorite track. It didn't produce a lot of action either, judging by at least what I saw at the front. I know there were some interesting battles maybe further behind, but yeah, I don't think that's returning on the calendar forever for this series. Laguna Seca should, this shouldn't. But yeah, the reason I won race 2 is because apparently Bergie binded the how do you say it, the look back button as the same as moving down brake bias button. So every time he was looking back trying to see where I was, his brake bias was going down by 0.5%, which is why his car becomes more and more oversteery because he loses his car on braking. And then yeah, I made the overtake and well, I was doing the same on the final lap, looking back, watching the battle a second, because unfortunately, for the first time this entire season, that was a rather I don't know if it's disappointing, rather boring race, shall we say. So yeah, I don't think Imola should ever return to the calendar.
Race 1 was definitely a bit more on the quiet side. You guys made race 2 come alive a little bit nearer in the second phase. But yes, in terms of circuits that we head to in TDM FunCup, we don't do average races. We do not do average races. We need everything to be absolutely extraordinary. So now that all races are done this season, what was the best race from your personal opinion?
Oh, I mean, I've edited all the highlights of the 7 of the first 8 rounds that I've done,
Yep.
and the longest 2 episodes are both Silverstone. Clearly, those 2 circuits, be it the international, the national layout, promotes racing, and it's Silverstone. It's one of the best tracks in the kingdom, so it makes sense. Brands Hatch, unfortunately, have the lowest minutes, basically, of the highlights, both rounds as well. I think both rounds are under 10 minutes, while both Silverstone rounds are above 20 minutes, so there's a large difference there. I'm not sure how long the highlights of Imola will be. It might just be 5 minutes, to be honest, because nothing happened in race 1. I had about a lap of battle in race 2, so... But in terms of the best race, I don't know. I mean, of course, the final corner overtake on Jack Smith at Laguna Seca, but then that brilliant battle with Daniel at Silverstone a couple of weeks back, because we literally went side by side for 4 laps in a row, which I've never done in my entire life. So yeah, I think those are the 2 best moments of the season.
Sounds good. Well, Narashto was never in doubt in terms of you would be the champion. We can see the final standings here. We obviously knew that last time out, and let's be honest, we knew for most of the season that you would end up in first. The rest of the standings, though, Burgi Smith second and third, John Jig were fourth and fifth, and then we found ourselves with only 1 point separating the pair of them as well. George Given got sixth due to Matt Pryor having an interesting time out there on the circuit today, let's just say. We like to put out that word, so we'll put it out once again. He'll find himself in 7th, then Ishmael Armstrong in 8th, Rom in 9th, Oscar Buck in 10th, and then Eric Johansson in 11th, Max Beldage in 12th, and then Miko on debut here today being able to get 2 points, and Noah Ferrone from his effort. Noah Ferrone on 1. I'm just being told a correction in my ear as well. Miko should have 4 points on the board as well. And there we go. Very quick back. Nicely updated
Magic.
as well by our producer. Weber Darash, I'd love your opinions on our producer skills. What's your thoughts on them?
Magic. I mean, I look forward to watching the stream back every week, which doesn't happen in some of the other series. But
Oh.
that's all due to the exceptional production quality from you, Omi, and from Josh, of course.
Oh, well, I don't have anything to do with the production quality, do not worry. Just give the credit over to JT as well.
Oh, this.
Yeah. Do you want to analyze what was going on here?
I think we will just want to have a group photo of some kind, after
Lovely.
the finish. End of season 1, innit?
Unbelievable. They all came piling in as well. That was thrilling. And of course, Weber Nirashto, that season 1 done, concluded. From a overall thought, what is your thought after this season as well? And then my final question, I guess, will be in terms of season 2. What's your thoughts heading into that?
Well, I'm glad that Matt has set his championship up and he's promoted quite, hardly on his Instagram, because that's the only, channel that I've got to know this championship. And I would be regretful if I had missed this first season, because it was really fun, barring the final race. But 1 out of 9 not great races is a very good percentage. In terms of season 2, I don't know, because if it stays Tuesday night, then I should be able to do most of them, unless I'm not at home, because hotel Wi-Fi and all that is a bit not really that good for racing circumstances. But yeah, okay, here's the calendar. Yeah, Silverstone is there only once. I think Silverstone should be there 3 times something if I'm making the calendar. Brands Hatch GP is fine. I don't know what I'm looking forward to. I'm definitely not looking forward to Thruxton, because left rear is gonna be absolutely cooked there.
Sounds about right. Yeah, pretty much. Does sound about right. And yes, hopefully we'll have you here across all 9 rounds, or as much as possible. The only exception we'll give is if you're editing a Wise Alex Jakes goated video. That's the only exception I'll grant you as well. Anyway, Weber, thank you very much for joining us. What's your final thoughts for everyone watching on from your side?
Just thank you, and hoping for a more exciting and even more interesting season 2 of TDM FunCup.
I don't know what more exciting looks like, but I'm looking forward to finding that out. Thank you very much, Weber. Congratulations on your championship, and thank you for keeping us entertained across the entire season.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Weber Nirashto, that was our champion. Next up, we are getting up into the box. The driver, who absolutely loves getting in the practice, but lacked just that little bit when it came to today. It is, of course, Daniel. Daniel, what happened when it came to practice?
I didn't do enough. I got really busy over the weekend and the following week, so I wasn't able to sit down and just lock in for 5 hours one day.
Oh, that is a shame. That is quite the shame. Well, not having as much practice, how did that fare for you out on the circuit then across the race?
Not too bad overall. I forgot I was on push to talk. But again, there are a few bits where more practice would have helped, like knowing how slippery that outside curb was where I spun in the first race, and then leaving a little bit more of a gap towards Matt, because I ended up tapping the back of him, which then sent my car round. So when I came off, that was me tapping Matt. But I think that would have been avoided if I'd done a little bit more practice. Not too much more, just a little bit more.
Yeah, I think you definitely could have as well. So as JT just giving some analysis into the ear of
Should have been
Daniel as
4
well.
minimum.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing more practice from you, I think, when it comes to next season. If JT can go back to the championship standings as well, very, very quickly. Of course, Daniel, you find yourself finishing P5, only a point away from John Jig So it was very much close, but you're just gonna miss out by a single point. But how do you feel in terms of P5 in the championship standings?
Not too bad overall. I was hoping for that P4 just. I've been closing on John every single weekend so far, ever since, well, the start where I started at the back, but just didn't quite have that edge today to get 2 places ahead of him in both races, which I think is what I needed.
Yeah, makes sense as well. Okay then, your thoughts, your final thoughts, I guess, from this season, and then heading into season 2.
Season 2 is definitely going to be interesting, especially with quite a lot of the tracks. I know Thruxton and Snetterton are on there, and those are 2 tracks that, if I'm honest, aren't going to be particularly fun in these cars. Well, they'll be fun for a few people, but rear grip wise, Thruxton's going to cause a load of overheating, and Snetterton just is known for, if you don't nail it, you're in the barrier. The rest are quite interesting.
Yeah, I think they are really, really interesting as well. And I think for us watching on, they all could very much be interesting in the end. Okay, well done on the season. Make sure you get practicing, Daniel, for all of the races that we have coming up for next season. And we look forward to seeing you then.
Look forward to seeing you then. Hopefully I can get a few more podiums and maybe even a win next season.
I like that. I like the sound of that. Thank you very much, Daniel, as well, for joining us. Not only in terms of the races, but also giving us plenty of interviews. And George Given, who has done quite a lot. Of interviews with us across the campaign. George, well, first of all, you were meant to beat Daniel when it came to practice laps. I'm unsure if you did. Did you?
I no, it's impossible. I've only done around 15 minutes. I joined around 15 minutes before official practice, so I don't think I would have beaten in practice lap. But in the race, I beat him in the first race, not quite in the second race. I was very close to him though.
Absolutely. Second of all, I guess I need to quickly say this, but you know, you took a group photo, but you didn't include like us at all. You didn't bring us into it. Like you forgot the production, the team, and everyone, all the commentators. You forgot everyone. I mean, JT's saying he could have drove out of the pits, I guess, to join him. But I guess someone will need to Photoshop edit us in. I guess that'll be something.
I could probably do that actually.
Oh, sounds exciting. We might be able to get a group photo. Absolutely. Absolutely extraordinary. JT's apparently getting a picture of me wearing a clown wig. I'm happy he's gone for that and not something else. So that is good. That is good. Apparently my face will be on Season 2's livery as well for George Given. So that's going to be really, really great. Anyway, in terms of then heading into Season 2, what's your thoughts heading into it?
Well, obviously all British tracks now, so we're on home turf for all of it. Hopefully it will be better. I'll obviously be starting the official season not midway through. Hopefully competing in every race if possible. I'm going to be trying to form an alliance with Noah. We're going to have similar liveries, obviously with you on the car. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be better than this season. I think I'm hoping to be further up, maybe competing with Daniel. As long as he doesn't do as much practice laps as he has this season, it should be better.
Should be indeed. I mean, of course, you'll be beginning a full campaign next season, so I think it'll be exciting to see, and I think you've got plenty of chances to do some great things as well. So thank you very much, George Given, and thank you as well for all the interviews you've given, and also for joining us and racing. What's your final thoughts for everyone watching on?
I just want to say thank you to Omi, Josh, Matt. Almost said Mark then because of his username, but thank you to everyone for actually basically creating this season a thing. It's definitely very fun. Josh doing great stuff with the production and the replays and everything. I think that's a very unique thing about this league slash championship. But yeah, thank you everyone. It's very exciting. Hoping next season will be even more exciting. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much, George Given as well. As yes, it's been quite a lot of fun, and I guess technically we'll just say that the shout out you gave to Josh earlier, we'll just count that as JT as well. So JT can have 2 shout outs, and we'll just leave JB empty-handed because why not? Because why not? I think that's fine. So anyway, thank you very much, George Given.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
the off season, enjoy livery making and all of the processes of that, and we'll see you next season.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. And so, right, next up, Matt Fryer. Hello,
Hi,
hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you for asking. I'm actually doing very, very well. That's because it's been a TDM Fun Cup Championship race
I
day.
know. It's the
Yeah.
greatest day of the week.
I know, the greatest day of the week indeed. So, of course, we know it's always great, but was it great for you out on circuit?
Uh,
JT just said no.
yeah. Uh, yeah. That's. It was fun. I mean, I had many skill issues today.
Oh, yeah,
Honestly, I was the opposite of locked in. I was I
I
was
see.
I was open free. I was organic.
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, George Given's going to try find replays of you spinning everywhere, which is great. Any spin in specific? I think the one that you had where you nearly took out Given, I think that was quite interesting. We saw it picture in picture. We did catch it, and yeah. So what happened for you when you lost out of Variante Alta while Given
Uh,
was chasing you?
Valiente Alta. Um,
Yes.
it was. I think I hit the curb. And then that hit me wide, and then it's an old Imola version in the game.
Hmm.
So it has the old AstroTurf on the exit.
Yeah.
So you spin into the AstroTurf, and then AstroTurf says you should carry on spinning. So I continued my spin and had a lovely time.
Lovely time. Wow. Absolutely fantastic. Right. Do you wanna talk us through this, Matt? Then
Here I am.
there you are. Yeah.
Is there we go. All right.
There you are. Our producer's just cooking things up as well.
This is like
All happening
this,
live as well.
this is like Sky Sports. This is.
I know. So yeah, do you want to analyze what happened as well? Like really go into detail of everything.
Yeah. Well, it's
So
well, I'm gonna be honest. I've seen myself set off about 4 times in this clip and not gone much further than that.
lovely. J-
Okay.
JT's just trying to really make sure
uh,
that we can get everything. And then this was you rejoining off the grass.
Yes. So, um, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I never saw the incident on my screen. So I saw myself set off, and then next minute I see myself spinning. So,
Oh,
um, yeah. Between that, I spun.
great. Absolutely fantastic as well. Okay, in terms of then final thoughts, of course we have plenty of questions left for you specifically, but in terms of your thoughts heading in towards season 2, basically what are they? What are they?
Excited.
Oh.
With, yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, it'd be really rubbish if it just said, "Yeah, I don't really care too much." Yeah, just don't turn up for season 2, guys. It's gonna be rubbish. No, I'm excited. Yes.
JT's packing his
Um,
bags officially.
Yeah, I'm excited. There's a couple changes that I'm trialing to try and sort out a couple of the issues. Lower track temperature. Gonna be about 4 degrees lower next season, which should be interesting to try. And we're using the extended physics as well, which should also help with high temperature. And George is saying in chat to add Goodwood to the calendar. No, it's too late. Yeah, I think this season was like way more successful than I thought it was going to be. Considering this was just like, I think it was Dan's dad was like, Dan wants to do some sim racing. Then I was like, actually, I've had a friend who's been thinking about doing a league for a bit. Let's start a FunCup league. The only reason I chose this car was because I was browsing on Instagram and someone did a post about it. Like, that's a good car. Let's choose that one. Yeah, and that sums up my race pretty much. That's a good metaphor right there. And then the commentary. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I miss Nina. She was there at round 1. She was there strong.
I know.
We lost her. We lost her so soon.
Should have paid her extra. Ridiculous.
I know.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I know. You Southerners, you're expensive.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, Matt Pryor, I do need to ask a few more things, as well, like last week. So once you leave today, can I have an overview of everything you're doing until we get the season started?
Wow.
Yeah.
That is like in regards to the league or just like in my life?
Your life. I mean, I want to dig deep into
No,
it.
God, this is a podcast now. We're
I
here
know,
for hours.
like last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta
It's
get
not that
started.
interesting. I'm gonna probably be working. I've
Oh.
recently got a new job at Silverstone
Yay.
at the kart track, so that's gonna fill up a few of my weekends. I need to get back into running because I
Okay.
wasn't allowed to run with my broken arm.
Oh yeah.
So I need to get back into that. What else do I need to do? I need to. I've started putting extended highlights on my own YouTube channel of season 1, so I need to carry on working through those. I need to. Yeah. I need to really up my Tinder game.
Thank you, JT.
Yeah. I didn't hear the Steve. I just like observed it.
Well, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
so I need
you did.
so Tinder game needs to be upped. This is priorities. Yeah, I think what else? I feel like I need to give you some juice, but I don't really have any juice. Got apple juice downstairs in the fridge.
Oh, lovely. Great. Great. That is available to you. What are you having then for dinner later today, or have you already had it?
I've had dinner.
Oh,
Um,
normal person.
yeah, the place near me that does 2 pizzas for the price of 1 on Tuesdays.
Oh, okay. Okay. Lovely. So,
It's a local place, so you won't know it.
oh, okay.
Well, Pacino's Pizzas, advertisement, pay me.
Yeah, honestly. One thing I do want to ask though. So, as you've got a new job at Silverstone Kart Circuit, do we get to come along at any point for free?
Um, I mean, for free, the big ass. I did a hell of a that. I mean, look,
know.
my role is track marshal. But I can see what I can do. I'll speak to
I've got some Roblox experience. Do not worry.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure I can speak to the CEO of Silverstone to get something sorted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Lovely.
I'm definitely like he'll be like, oh, Matt Pry. I know he's on. I know we only pay him £13 an hour. But yeah, but we got to listen to Matt Pryor because he's like a big deal, you know. But we'll get him some free tickets. Free,
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect as well.
My first big event. So well, I'm doing yeah, this Saturday. Those marshals are volunteer marshals. Unless you know something.
We
Okay.
got JT quizzing. Matt Fry.
JT, explain what you mean.
Silence.
Now I'm
Still
having a
silence.
breakdown. No, no, I know what you mean. So I had the email format looks the same as if you registered for Racemakers, but it was actually just a job offer. Yeah,
Okay.
because I thought it was Racemakers when I opened the email, but it obviously wasn't. It was better, arguably.
Lovely. 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 Okay. Well, so Matt Fire. Then in terms of your food plans tomorrow, so JT can now be heard. First of all, Matt Price, sorry, I'm gonna have to just not ask you anything for a second. I want to
Hello.
speak to our producer. Hello, who are you?
I don't know. Who are you?
Well, everyone's heard my voice across the season. Well, bar one
Unfortunately,
round. Yeah.
unfortunately, yeah. I'm the guy who presses all the buttons. Like
Oh, okay.
I can't press any buttons right now because if I press any buttons, then you can't hear me because I've only set my mic up on this scene.
Yeah.
So I can't go onto any scene. So if Omi has to sneeze, then he has to do it live while I'm talking.
Yay.
We
Yeah.
all want to hear that.
No. Gotta rush over to the mute button. But yes. Also, Matt Fry, important question. You watching the British Touring Car Championship this weekend?
I'm working,
Oh.
so
Do you
no.
like the British Touring Car Championship?
Love it.
Will you be catching up on the British Touring Car Championship?
I think I will. I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of championships going on, but they've all just started this like last 3 weeks. I am so behind on championships right now. I only just about caught up on the Australian Supercar Series.
Oh,
That's my favorite
okay.
championship.
Fair point.
But obviously,
There's no point in
obviously I-
staying up.
yeah, well, it's like I love the series and I've watched it for many years. But I've
Yeah.
never watched a race live because why would I?
I only watch them live when it's a Melbourne F1 weekend
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I don't even do that.
because
Oh.
JB Motorsports calls.
It
Yeah,
does.
but we Toyota got their first podium and their first win all in one weekend. But I do believe they're under investigation for parity rules between the cars.
When did
I don't know how
where
that's
did
gone.
the FunCup car place?
FunCup car,
Yeah,
V8 supercars.
yeah.
What the hell are you on about?
I'm just making up stuff at this point. Of course, it was the fun. It was the in real life FunCup at Alton Park where the safety car decided to crash.
I didn't even watch that race. I was going to watch
Okay.
that back.
Okay.
Yeah, the safety car very nearly crashed.
Is it the Hyundais they're using still?
Yes.
That's
It
Lovely.
it accelerated out the final corner at Lodge, and as it went up Deer Leap, it spun and very nearly hit the infield barrier. So on the camera angle, you can just see the safety car just going very slowly and all of the tyre marks. Hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick.
Okay. JT's gonna.
You
get on
guys
we
with
have
that.
can
got
chat.
slightly distracted from FunCup.
You guys can chat amongst yourselves.
Okay. Great. We can talk more with Matt Pryor as well.
Yeah, ask me some questions.
Oh, okay.
What did you have for breakfast?
Never mind.
Weetabix. So the only right answer.
Incredible.
Incredible. Do you think you'll be quicker than Nina when it comes to watching the British Touring Car Championship back on Sunday after work?
That's
Nina
a
will-
hell of a sentence. That is
Nina will not be watching it live. She has work. So do you think you'll be able to beat her to it on Sunday?
So I'm probably not going to watch it on the Saturday because I'm working 8 till 8,
Right.
and it's Elite Kart Series, Elite Series Kart EKS. So that's going to be a busy day. Sunday I finish at 3:15, but then it's like a 2.5 hour drive. So
Yeah.
it's going to be like near 6 o'clock really when I'm home. So realistically, it's going to be like, if I do watch it on Sunday, it's going to be like 8 o'clock
Fair
Sunday
enough.
night.
Can you see my screen?
I should probably rephrase as well what I said earlier. Nina's marshalling. So yeah, she's having fun. Don't worry, she's not doing some office job on the day. She's marshalling. So that's why she won't be watching the touring car
Oh,
live
is she
on Sunday.
Netherton, I guess. I'm assuming.
I think she is. I think that's the circuit that she told me. So we can see JT's screen. So Matt Pryor. Well, it's time to get your reactions
This
to
is
this
my
moment.
reaction. This is
Yeah, it's time to get your reaction. So it's radio commentary, Matt Pryor, we're going to be doing here.
Right,
Okay.
Matt Fryer,
Explain
please
this.
give us radio commentary. You can see the safety car is departing the field, and the field is backing up. At this point is where the safety car goes off, and I will just skip here, and you can see, just as they come round, you can just see the safety car coming back
Oh
on,
no!
and all of the mud tracks.
Oh no!
It got quite close from a safety car being collected by the field. Yeah.
That's properly embarrassing, that is.
Safety car becomes the unsafety car.
Car.
I know.
Because you can, and
It's just...
there is no hiding from it, because you can see the angle that it is at. It's coming back on, and all of those tire marks, if you cut to an earlier, they're not there.
Wow.
And there's photos on Facebook of the safety car off.
That's quite something.
Yeah, let me see if I cannot spell.
That's going to be quite embarrassing for Hyundai, I imagine.
Yeah, I will try and...
Yeah.
And probably more embarrassing for the driver.
Not ideal. Not ideal. But I guess we all have some skill issues at times.
Yeah. It reminds me of... I have looked for this clip in the past, and it's quite difficult to find now, but it was old school GT World Challenge. I don't even know if it was SRO back then, but there was a video where the safety car, it was a rolling start, and the safety car didn't pull into the pit lane for the race start. So the lights went green, but the safety car was still leading the field, but half the field reacted to the lights and half the field didn't. So it distinctly kind of reminds me of that's what could have happened for that.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a bit silly, if you ask me.
Yeah, I am trying to
know.
find it, but I can't
Absolutely.
remember who posted it.
So, I mean, JT's trying to find it. I'll give you one more question, I guess, to try and fill the void. If not, we'll prepare to go off air in terms of, getting to that phase. But that whole phase takes a lot of build up, so that's why we're not immediately jumping on board with that just yet. So, Matt Pryor, I think now that we've reached the end of the season, what's been your thoughts overall on the graphics? I asked you the question last week, but now I want your overall thoughts now that the whole season's done.
And of course, we have new graphics.
And new graphics as well, remember? In-game, new graphics.
Well, I'll be honest, I've not watched the stream yet.
Shocking.
So, because it's still happening.
I know,
So,
but all the other drivers have, just done things.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well,
That's why I
you
thought
can see him a little bit here.
JT's about to put it back on screen so you can actually see it. Look.
oh. So this is the new deployment of CMRT.
It is. It is. Correct indeed.
So beautiful. I didn't expect it so soon.
I found it. It was on Twitter, not on Facebook. It was by
Great.
the good old people at Touring Car Hub.
Perfect.
There you go, Matt Fryer.
Well, this is just hilarious, isn't it?
Goodness me.
That is quite something.
It was close. It was very close.
Because if the safety car had actually hit the wall, the weekend could have been abandoned.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have a spare normally.
Would they have used the course car?
No,
They can't.
you're not
can
allowed
they?
to anymore.
Yeah.
I believe I believe that used to be a thing, but I'm 99% sure that they are not allowed to do that.
Anyway.
So
Lovely.
yeah, so they probably do have a spare Hyundai, but I doubt it's ready. Yeah, I doubt the Hyundai was. If they had a spare car, it would have been ready. Because it's expensive, It's not
Yeah.
F1.
Yeah.
They've not got all the money in the world.
They don't. They don't. Right, Matt Pryor. We've reached the end of the podcast now. I would like, well, actually, we haven't though, because I would like your overall thoughts. I would like your overall thoughts from season one, leaving it behind, ending this emotional journey, and heading into a new one in season two.
Meh.
Is that all I'm going to get?
No, it's that's been a good season. You guys have been great. JBSports,
Wow.
what a group. Yourself, Omi, Josh T in the background, just clicking buttons for a living.
Yep.
Other Josh, who we sadly miss when he turns up. Nina's been here in spirit, and we can't forget Nina. She's been my number one fan really from race one.
She has. Yeah.
She's I don't know if you saw the Cars movie, but then you get the two little Mazda Miatas in the crowd, Mia and Tia.
Yeah.
I feel like Nina is one half of Mia and Tia, like the two biggest fans of mine.
I see.
No, honestly, what I say goes. I am the owner of the league. Frankly, I think it was good that I was consistently quicker than Dan, being a go-kart driver and all that. I think he's gonna have some words with his team.
Yeah.
So I've probably ruined his career. Yeah.
So what Matt is basically reacting to is basically, you know, as JT tells him that, you know, Matt was not here. You were not here for half the year, but only ended up like what 9 points behind George Given. Unbelievable,
Yeah.
unbelievable. So
And
if we're going off that, you know, absolutely the champion. Had you been here all season? Oh, dominant.
yeah, I mean, frankly, if I'd not had the skill issues today, I would have beaten him in the championship. Well, that voice I'm sure we can't hear on stream was
He could
very
have said no.
rejectful. But yeah. Brom
Thanks.
got good points considering he only did like 2 races.
Yeah, well done to him. Okay, thank you very much, Matt Pryor. It's time you now tell me goodbye. Am I gonna get a goodbye from Matt Pryor?
Oh, bye.
Bye. There we go. Okay, well, here we go. What a journey it's been. What a journey it's been. We reached the end of it now. We reached the end of it. Now this is the time of the broadcast where basically I'm gonna now get ready to read through the standings. We're gonna go through all like the admin type of things. It's kind of like the admin a teacher has to do. You know, when they come in, all this paperwork, etc., etc., etc. So we've got, so I've got a lot to get through in terms of course, as I said, I've got the admin, and then I've got so many thank yous to get through as well. There is honestly so much to get through in this broadcast. Should we get started? Here we go, your final classification of the Digital Motor Club DDM FunCup Championship in season number 1, and it ends with Weber Nirashto as your champion on 349 points, Sandy Burgi in second, and then Jack Smith in third, John Jig P4, Daniel P5, and then we found ourselves in P6 with George Given. Matt Pryor was 7th, then it was Ishmael Armstrong, then we found ourselves with Rum and Oscar Buck completing our top 10. Then we get over to Eric Jonathan, Max Beldridge 11th and 12th for those two drivers, and then Rico and the driver with a single point, Noah Ferrone in P14. And that is what you call your final classification of season number 1. I'm going to listen in my ear now for my producer to tell me what to give. There we go. Okay, so it is time to go through thank yous right now. So it is time to thank absolutely everyone who has been a part of the TDM FunCup Championship. So let's get started. I would of course like to thank absolutely everyone who has been a part of the TDM FunCup Championship, and to be a little bit specific, of course, Matt Pryor for creating it all up, or we would all basically be here at this specific time frame of a week. I'd also like to say a big well done to all of the drivers for turning up, for putting on a show, for giving us reasons to have extra replays and also graphics at the same time. So thank you and well done to all of the drivers. Special thank you goes to Weber Nirashto for being the uploader of the video of why Alex Diggs is so goated and why we all love him, which we absolutely do as well. So thank you very much, Weber Nirashto, and of course an extra congratulations just because of that for basically being the champion. Well done, Weber Nirashto, as well. I'd like to thank the rest of the broadcast team at the same time. JT behind the scenes with production as well. He's very much brought in graphics, absolutely everything, and has put on an absolutely brilliant show for myself, only to put my voice on, and of course the people who joined me, Joshua Birch and Nina, earlier on in the season. I'd also like to thank Nina for being here in spirit across this season, and also for being an extra marshal on the side, just keeping an eye at the same time on what everyone was basically up to. I'd also like to thank Victoria for engaging in conversation in the Digital Motor Club Discord server with the commentator, and that being myself. So thank you very much, Victoria, for, I guess, keeping all the drivers entertained and making sure everyone's doing good in the Discord at the same time. And, well, another thank you goes to YouTube, I guess, for allowing us to create the JBSports YouTube channel. Big well done to Joshua Birch, who did that months ago, and we've finally been able to now utilize it. And thank you, I guess, to the YouTube admin as well. So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you in advance to George Given and to Noah Ferrone, who will have myself on their livery. Well done on the group photo to all of the drivers. Let's just quickly scroll through the Discord just to make sure I'm not missing anyone at this moment in time. Anyone important as well? No, I don't see anyone else that I should specifically thank, other than just thanking absolutely everyone. Okay, well, that brings that. So, oh yeah, we don't thank everyone for being. Gonna have to change the photo on delivery to the one with the clown here on Ovion. Okay, well, that person, whoever just said that, which I'm not gonna name, is not going to be getting a thank you. Well, the final thank you goes to you, actually, the viewer, for joining us as well across the entire campaign of the TDM Fun Cup Championship. And just like that, our producer throws us over to the orbit. My final extra thanks goes to him. Season 1 of the TDM Fun Cup Championship has been absolutely brilliant. A championship that has been won by Weber Nirashto. The journey has been kicked off. Where is this journey going to take us? Well, the next few seasons will give us that answer. We are only a few weeks away from getting Season 2 started, but from the entire team here at the Digital Motor Club and also JB Esports, it is goodbye.